Hello and welcome, I'm Pallavi Sharma and you are watching BIZWORLD Weekly, a show that explains some of the top stories of the week that matter. From markets to economics to trends, we bring you the news that you probably missed out during the week. Let's start with a quick market check. Indian equity indices ended flat amid volatility, with Nifty at 22,550 points on March 7 and Sensex ending at 74,309.36 points. Top gainers for Nifty were Reliance Industries, Nestle, Bajaj Auto, Bharat Electronics, Hindalco, and top losers were IndusInd Bank, NTPC, Shriram Finance, Infosys, HCL Tech, Power Grid, and more. BSE Mid-Cap Index was down 0.3%, while Small-Cap Index was up 1.5%. On sectoral front, consumer durables, IT, power and realty were down 0.5 to 1%, while capital goods, energy, metal, media were up 0.5 to 1%. Rupee fell 6 paise to 87.18 against the dollar in early trade on March 7. Gold rate slipped though. In major cities, price of 24-carat gold was at 87,480 rupees per 10 grams and 22-carat gold was at 80,190 rupees per 10 grams. That's all on the markets. Let's get on to our first story, or say the series of stories. We dedicate a huge part of this episode to Trump because there was a lot that he announced in this week. So let's first start with our first story. If you haven't seen this video of the Ukrainian president and the US president arguing, you are living in a house with no windows. This spat led to a whole saga of events over the week between the US and Ukraine. It was the completion of 3 long years of Russia-Ukraine war, and Trump had invited Zelenskyy to the Oval House to sign a minerals deal. And this is what happened.
You think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
you
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
So what about
if you didn't have our military equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Trump blamed Ukraine for the war, said that they wouldn't have survived without US aid, and he also said that Ukraine should forget about joining the NATO. The situation got so worse that the Ukrainian president was asked to leave the White House without signing the deal. Later, he acknowledged that the public spat was regrettable, but that was not enough for Trump. He went on to hold any military aid to Ukraine. So he paused all the military aid worth billions of dollars to Ukraine, which was key to the country's survival in the war. But Zelenskyy got support from elsewhere. The UK, France and other European nations showed support to the Ukrainian leader, and he got a loan from UK of over £2 billion. However, this was not enough because the aid US gave was much higher than what the European countries can shell out combined. So Zelenskyy sent a letter to the US president and he read it out in the Congress. This is what he said.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelenskyy of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you.
It does not stop here. The US barred Britain from sharing American intelligence with Ukraine, which was previously classified as REL UKK, or releasable to Ukraine. Ukrainian officials are already concerned about the military aid freeze. They said that after 2 or 3 months, the situation will be extreme for them. As per reports, the freeze affects over $1 billion in military equipment for Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russia has welcomed the move, calling it probably the best contribution to cause of peace. And Putin is obviously happy. But this is a sign of peace or a step towards a bigger disaster. What is your thought on this? Let us know in the comments. A trade war is what people are calling it between the two biggest economies in the world, US and China. The US had earlier imposed 10% tariffs on China. Trump then announced an additional 10% tariff on the dragon this week. This means a 100% tariff on Chinese-made EVs to 15% on clothes, shoes, etc., hitting Chinese manufacturing sector. And obviously the Chinese did not sit back and watch. They neither tried to negotiate. They attacked the US with a retaliatory 15% tariff on various goods including chicken, cotton, agricultural products and some minerals. It also added 15 US companies to its unreliable entities list, barring them from engaging in China-related trade activities and making new investments. China vowed to fight till the bitter end if US continues its trade war using fentanyl as an excuse. Over and about this, the Chinese government unveiled an annual economic growth target of around 5% despite the possible negative impact of the trade war with the United States. It said in its address that the sluggish consumer spending will be addressed at home. Basically, it shows that China is not worried about the trade war, and well, it might actually backfire the US. Why? Because in 2024, China exported $525 billion worth of goods to US, but imported only $164 billion worth of goods from US. So basically, China's tariffs may hurt US more. Most manufacturing, especially auto and electronic sectors, import raw materials from China to the US. So they have manufacturing hubs in China too, because the labor is cheap there and the cost of manufacturing is also cheap. They then export the product to China from the US and sell it to the customers. So there will be an impact on three people: the Chinese exporter, the manufacturer and the US customer. The Chinese exporter might just increase the cost of the raw material for the manufacturers, so the tariffs have zero impact on him. But the manufacturer might see high production costs, which at the end would mean that the customers have to pay more for the product. But some say that these tariffs will contribute to the Federal Reserve and this might actually be a good thing. Well, there are bigger reasons to worry about for both China and the US in this case, all in all. First the Ukraine, then China, now the rest of the world. Trump is becoming a talk of the town everywhere in the world, this time for tariffs. It affects the economies, it affects you, and it affects US too. Recently, he reaffirmed that the reciprocal tariffs will kick in from April 2nd, attacking India, Mexico, China, Canada and South Korea. He said that the system has been unfair to the US and now that has to stop. So basically, reciprocal tariff means that whatever the other country charges the US will charge the same to that country. He also said that India has the biggest tariff on auto, over 100%, and that's true. This affects India too. This week, Trump announced a 20% tariff hike on Mexico and Canada, but then he postponed it by a month after discussions with the two countries. But what's going to happen to India with reciprocal tariffs? US is India's largest trading partner and the largest export destination too. US accounts nearly 18% of Indian exports. As per a report by Citigroup, the tariffs could impact India by a $7 billion cost. Worst affected sectors would be pharma, auto and agriculture, and US had put its demand. It said that it wants 0% tariffs on auto imports. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is in the US for a week in a sudden visit to talk about tariffs. He met with the US Commerce Secretary and other leaders to try and crack a trade deal. Meanwhile, India is looking for more markets to delve in. India is trying to be very pally with Europe. In February, the Prime Minister hosted the EU, and just a few days back, Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar was in the UK because the UK says that it wants to supercharge its trade with India. So there are two things that are being done. One, trade talks with the US, and long overdue trade deals with the other countries like India-UK FTA, which is the center of discussions between India and Britain. We'll see how this goes because this is crucial for both India and for all the other countries impacted by Trump tariffs. Talking about tariffs, Tesla, by the way, has leased a showroom space in BKC in Mumbai, a 4,000 square feet showroom space for 5 years. And the cost, well, a whopping 23.38 crore rupees for 5 years. The space is taken by Tesla and it also has 2 car parking spaces. It is a national record in terms of lease and rentals. This is the most expensive auto showroom lease deal in the country by far, and the showroom is in BKC's Maker Max City. But how much Tesla is going to cost you versus the other domestic players? The cheapest Model 3 Tesla costs $35,000, which is at 30.4 lakh at factory level. With a 15 to 20% revised tariff, it could become more expensive to $40,000, which is close to 40 lakh rupees, while Mahindra's XEV 9e starts at 21.9 lakhs. Suzuki's e-Vitara is priced between 17 to 22 lakh, and Creta Electric of Hyundai is priced at 17.99 lakh. Well, India debut aside, Tesla shareholders are furious at Elon Musk. They say that he has not been showing interest in the firm and the concentration has now shifted to Doge, while Tesla stocks are slumping. Musk's wealth too deteriorated by $90 billion in 1 month. His net worth by the end of February was at $349 billion from $433 billion at the beginning of the month. He is still the richest person on the earth though, but what is happening with Tesla shareholders? Why are they furious? Here's a report. Trump is going all gaga over Musk, and Musk is gaining praises from the president left and right. But Tesla investors are furious at Elon Musk. And why not? While he has been asking US federal employees to justify their salaries by listing 5 accomplishments each week, investors think that he has not been working enough himself for the betterment of Tesla, the EV maker that he owns. So investors have now turned tables on Musk. Celebrity photographer Jerry Evenem was one of Tesla's shareholders who aired their grievances. He asked Musk to share 5 things that he did for Tesla shareholders this week. Are you working remotely? He asked. Accompanying his post was a stock performance graph showing Tesla's downward trend. Investors are now expressing skepticism over Musk's priorities and Tesla's future. While Musk has been the center of the news due to Doge, investors fear that his interest in Tesla has taken a U-turn. Tesla stock has faced significant declines since the start of 2025. The stock fell below 300 and is around 30% down on a year-to-date basis. Factors contributing to Tesla's downfall include increased competition in the EV market by legacy car makers and global competitors, production and delivery challenges, leadership distractions, and regulatory scrutiny over Tesla's full self-driving technology and ongoing legal challenges. Amid all this going on with the company, Musk has been more focused on leading Doge and cancelling contracts and asking federal employees to resign. One key point of contention among shareholders is Musk's involvement in multiple ventures beyond Tesla. His leadership roles at SpaceX, Neuralink, The Boring Company, and X already raised questions on whether Musk is stretched too thin, and now he is the head of Doge. And his style of working, we have seen it past in Twitter. Extreme work culture, mass layoffs, and we can see it happening now with federal employees too, who are protesting against him. While the Tesla CEO is facing flack for asking federal government employees to submit a work report, Ola CEO Bhavish Agarwal has pulled an Elon Musk on his employees. He has introduced a new rule asking employees to submit work report weekly, and the initiative is called Kya Chal Raha Hai. He informed his employees last week about this in an internal email, asked employees to use a clear and structured language and bullet points to outline their accomplishments during the week. Amid this, Ola Electric is cutting more than 1,000 jobs in multiple departments, from procurement, customer relations to charging and infrastructure. This before even they submitted the report. This is because the electric scooter maker is struggling to reduce losses. This is the second layoff in 5 months for the company. So, well, what is going to happen after they submit the report? This he did not mention though. The Trump administration has finally launched the Bitcoin Reserve. This marks a major shift in the government's approach towards cryptocurrencies, as the Biden administration was not very pro-crypto. Trump has established a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a US digital asset stockpile. The reserve will be funded through Bitcoin seized by the federal government via criminal and civil forfeiture proceedings. So basically, there will be no trade of buy or sell. It will be a seize, and it will be kept for long term as a store of value. The US digital asset stockpile, however, will have other confiscated cryptocurrencies like Ether, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Now, these holdings will be reported to the Treasury Secretary and the President's Working Group on Digital Asset Management. The announcement by Trump was made days before signing the order, and this triggered a massive price surge across crypto. Bitcoin spiked to $90,000 and others too jumped 70 to 18%. But then later, XRP, Solana, and Cardano saw a double-digit decline, and the price of Bitcoin was last lower at 3%. Now, what does this mean? It means that the government is adopting these cryptocurrencies, potentially accelerating institutional investments. It marks a regulatory shift, but there are economic risks too. Critics have warned of Bitcoin's volatility time and again, and its uncertainty and its impact on the economy. But should you invest in Bitcoin now? Well, it is a highly volatile currency to hold. It is only for people who have a high risk appetite. Moreover, the market impact might not be very huge because of this, because the government is not going to buy or sell these cryptocurrencies, but is going to seize and keep it as a reserve for long-term value. So experts say that it might not lead to a significant rally going forward because of this reason. There can be heated arguments sometimes in the parliament, but smoke grenades, eggs, and tear gas inside the parliament is a rare sight. On March 4, the Serbian opposition lawmakers threw smoke grenades and tear gas inside the parliament to protest against the government and support demonstrating students. One legislator suffered a stroke during the chaos, and totally 3 lawmakers were injured. In the session, the ruling coalition government passed the assembly's agenda. Some points on the agenda were not seeming to be right to the opposition, and the protest began. This is a part of the protest that began about 4 months ago after the railway station collapsed, killing 15 people. Many believe that this happened because of hasty work of contractors. This led to protests against corruption, leading to a month-long unrest by students in Serbia. And this became a major challenge for the government too, and they said they would give concessions and even try to blame foreign governments for initiating these protests and violence. In January, Serbian Prime Minister had resigned from his post. The parliament was discussing the Prime Minister's resignation while peaceful protests were continuing outside the building, but inside, chaos erupted. There was smoke, there were eggs and water bottles thrown, and in the parliament there was tear gas. But is this going to help? Well, time will tell. Let's move on to the next story. Pakistan has hit a gold mine. No, I'm not kidding. Literally a gold mine. Pakistan has found significant gold reserves in the Indus River valued at approximately 80,000 crore rupees. As per a report, the discovery was made through a government commissioned survey in Airtok district of Punjab province. This could be a boost for the cash-strapped Pakistan and has prompted the country's plans for extraction. The mining project will be led by state-owned National Engineering Services in Pakistan and Mine and Minerals Department of Punjab. As per reports, Pakistan's gold reserves are valued at $5.43 billion as of December 2024. But wait, there is an Indian connection to it too. When we look at how this gold came to the Indus River, experts believe that the deposits were originated from the Himalayan region of India. The river carried these gold particles downstream where they settled in form of placer gold. Over time, the river's flow has rounded and smoothened these gold nuggets, which means that easy extraction. The Indus River Valley is known for rich minerals and is seen as a source for gold and other precious metals. The hard part would be to extract this gold from the river because that requires efficient resource extraction and careful management of environmental impact. There is also a risk of illegal mining because when these deposits were found, miners and contractors rushed to nearby areas to dig in hopes to find gold. But the Punjab government stepped in quickly, so this gold can be used to bring economic stability to the struggling nation if it is used wisely, or it might just remain an unrealized opportunity. Paytm was in trouble this week. This time it was ED charging it of Foreign Exchange Management Act violations. What is it and what was the impact on the company? Here's a report. Paytm is in trouble again. ED has issued a show cause notice to Paytm parent 197 Communications Limited and its subsidiaries for alleged violations of the Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999 amounting to 611 crore rupees. As per ED, the company made foreign investments in Singapore and failed to report the creation of an overseas step-down subsidiary to the Reserve Bank of India. The company also received foreign direct investments from overseas investors without adhering to RBI's pricing guidelines. Its two subsidiaries, Little Internet Private Limited and Nearby India, have also been found violating the FEMA norms. Paytm, in a regulatory filing, said that the transactions are from 2015 and 2019 before the two companies became its subsidiaries. The company said that it's evaluating legal remedies and assured customers that its services will be unaffected. The stock fell in trade by March 1 by around 4%, but then on March 4, the company announced the launch of UPI trading blocks. It eliminates the need for traders to transfer amounts to trading accounts. Instead, the funds remain in the user's bank account until a trade is executed, and they continue to earn interest. Once trade is executed, the amount is automatically deducted without requiring a UPI PIN. On March 5, the stock then went up by 1.09%. Sale, sale, sale. That's what experts are saying for blue chip stocks on D Street. They say that the valuations are now extremely cheap and the markets fell for 5 months straight too. Recovery was seen this week though, but let's talk stocks. India's most valuable conglomerate, Tata Group, is facing a brutal stock market rout in 2025. All of its 24 listed companies collectively shedded a staggering amount of 8.2 lakh crore rupees in market capitalization due to the relentless selling by FIIs. The sell-off erased 24% of the group's total value in just last 6 months. In last 6 months, Tata Group's crown jewel has seen a share price decline of 23%, Tata Motors 43%, Trent 30%, Titan, which was a multi-bagger earlier, saw a decline of 15%, Tejas Networks of 46%, and most stocks suffered between 20 to 60% price decline. Ambani's Reliance Industries saw a decline of 17.3% in last 6 months. Asian Paints lost 30% in share price, HUL lost 21.4%, Sun Pharma lost 11%, but the bigger question is that is there any benefit to buy them now? Well, long-term perspective of the markets is bullish and it's a buying opportunity as per some experts. But some experts say that the valuations are still expensive. We have done various videos on the decline and what's the way forward for investors, so you can watch them, and do check our video on FIIs and why they are selling. Also check with your financial advisor before making any finance decisions. Well, coming to a celebration now. It's International Women's Day on March 8. We'll see a lot of pink, a lot of offers, free makeup, clothes, ice creams for women celebrating women. But is that all women want? Flowers, bouquets, pretty clothes, handbags, makeup, etc. Let me tell you what women probably actually want. Women want safety, equal pay, no pink tax and policy changes. They want to be included in policy decisions. As per the UN report, gender equality is not 10 years or 20 years away, it is 300 years away. All of us women are not going to be alive by then. Let's talk basics first. Safety. Basic but too much to ask. The last available government document is from 2022 and it says every day 85 women are raped in India. We see these news reports daily and the number is devastating. So what women want is safety and respect. Another basic, no pink tax. What is pink tax? Pink tax is the excess amount that women pay on products for women compared to the same product for men, like soaps, shampoos, razors and more. A basic men's razor costs anywhere between 90 to 150 rupees, while a women's razor costs 200 to 300 rupees. Menstrual care, even that is expensive. So around 500 million women lack access to menstrual products. So women want equality, not just in shelling money, but also in getting it. Women are rapidly joining workforce, good, but are they paid well enough? Women work for more than 8 to 9 hours daily and they spend 2.5 to 3 hours of unpaid work daily. That's childcare or house care, etc. As per a report, worldwide, women only make 77 cents for every dollar a man makes. In India, at senior positions, women earn 6.1% less than men. As per a report, it will take more than 130 years to reach full gender parity, where women will be equal to men economically. How many times have you been rejected in a job interview just because you just got married or you are pregnant? As a result, only few women climb up the ladder. Only 10% female CEOs in top 500 US companies and 5% in top 500 Indian companies. So this is what women need. So think again before celebrating Women's Day with flowers, chocolates and free stuff, and get real. As per another report, World Bank says that closing the gender gap could increase the world GDP by 20%. Good for the slowing growth of economies around the world. And how can we do that? By improving laws for women, lifting restrictions on women's work, and not looking at women as someone who is less capable than a man. Happy International Women's Day to all, and I will see you in the next episode. That's all for today.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.